Okay, let's bring this meeting to order of the Amador County Board of Supervisors. Wouldn't mind standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first thing is public matters not on the agenda, discussion items only, no action to be taken. Any person may address the board at this time upon any subject within the jurisdiction of Amador County Board of Supervisors. However, any matter that requires action may be referred to staff and/or committee for report and recommendation for possible action in a subsequent board meeting. Please note there's a 3-minute time limit. Any public? Supervisors? The only thing I want to say is happy birthday to all of us. California was a U.S. state on September 9th, 1850. 4 years later, we were a county. I guess there was a whole bunch of stuff between us and Calaveras at that time, so it's always a fun thing to look.
Yeah, there still is, actually. I talked to the clerk, asked her if she'd sign the note finally, but may happen, I don't know, we'll see.
Always talk about voter fraud. Well, I guess it was even back in 1854. Okay, approval of the agenda. Okay.
Second.
First by Supervisor Cruz, second by Supervisor Epperson. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Approval of agenda, approval of items on the consent agenda. Anybody from the public want to speak on anything on the consent agenda? Supervisor? Yes.
Did you do public matters?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure, wanted to make sure.
Mr. Chairman, we do have a comment.
Yes, please come forward. Go ahead. I need you to come speak to the microphone. I'm sorry. Not a problem. No, that's on the regular agenda. Yeah, it would be anything within, let me get my numbers correct. Consent agenda, which would be any items that were 6A through 6N. Okay.
What's your concern about me coming up maybe in an hour, roughly? Roughly, half hour?
Okay. Anybody on Zoom?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Call for a motion.
So moved.
Okay, Supervisor Crew,
Second?
Supervisor Neto, second. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, we're on to regular agenda. Administrative Agency Resolution recognizing September 2025 as Hunger Action Month in Amador County. Anybody going to come up and speak on that? Come on up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Beth Stanton with the Interfaith Food Bank, and we think that this is really important because we're not asking for anything other than people take action. If you can't ever do it this month. It's before the holidays. It reminds people that people are hungry every day, not just during the holidays or during a specific time. And we believe that everybody can take action. If absolutely nothing else, bring us your grocery bags. I know they're in your way, and we need them really badly. We want people to think about volunteering, to think about us, and to think about mostly my staff more than me, and what they do every day and what our volunteers do every single day, and how much we mean to the county. We're at about 15.25%. I was looking at it this morning. I'm always iffy on if we put the prison population in or out or how we do that, so I don't know for sure. But I think that's where we are. I know it's a bigger number than we want it to be. And if you have any questions, I would be more than happy to answer them.
I'd be real curious to know if the prison population is included. I wouldn't think so, but
I asked someone, I don't remember who it was, but I thought it was someone that would know, and they told me it absolutely is included. And I've looked everywhere I can look, and you can find any answer you want on the internet, so I'm not a big fan. But, so I don't know, but I think in the 42,000, 44 or something for 2024, I believe that included the 4,069 or however many prisoners there are.
oh, total population then.
Yes,
Yeah, I think it does.
yeah, so that's where we're at.
What foods, I mean, obviously you'll take anything, but I think some foods are a challenge and then some foods have no nutritional value. Do you have sort of an idea of what the best thing to donate would be?
Time.
I don't have
Time and
any.
money. But if you don't have those things, the best thing to donate is usually canned food, canned vegetables, canned stew, canned soup, canned things that people can keep and they'll last for a while. And preferably something in this century, because sometimes we get things that aren't.
I heard that the donation of the whole animals from the fair presents a bit of a challenge.
It does not, really.
not? Okay.
No, we love that. That's like the most wonderful thing. As a matter of fact, we just picked it up, and we picked it up just in time because we've had a few little freezer issues going on. And our senior meat, we were gonna have to give them this month, chicken strips. I don't know, chickens, my kids love chicken strips, but I can't see that being a senior favorite. So we had a lot of nice meat from the fair that we just picked up, and we used a lot of that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, anybody else from the public want to speak on this?
Thank you.
Don't go too far. Okay. Do we have anybody in Zoom that wants to talk on this?
Not at this time.
Okay, back to the board. I'm going to read the resolution. Whereas Feeding America, the largest charity working to end hunger in the United States, and its members and affiliated food banks, has designated the month of September 2025 as Hunger Action Month to bring continued awareness that the hunger and poverty are the issues of serious concern. And whereas Amador County, individuals and families who experience food insecurities must make difficult choices of whether to buy food or pay for housing, utilities, transportation, or medical care. And whereas Amador County is committed to raising awareness of hunger needs and commends the ongoing efforts of the Interfaith Food Bank, who are dedicated to providing no-cost nutritious food to families in need. And whereas Amador County encourages its citizens and businesses to support these organizations as they rely on financial and food donations from our community. And whereas food banks and food closets across the county will host events and activities throughout the month of September to bring awareness and attention to the issue of hunger and encourage the involvement of our community to help solve hunger. Therefore, ever, it is hereby resolved that the Board of Supervisors does hereby proclaim the month of September 2025 as Hunger Action Month in Amador County to bring awareness and help end hunger and food insecurities to the local community. Do I have a motion to approve this? Okay.
Second.
First by Supervisor Cruz, second by Supervisor Cornell. Okay. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, Beth, let's get a picture. One thing I can also say, Beth is a dominating force. She continues to do the best thing for Amador County, and I very much appreciate everything you've done for this county.
Thank you. Couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, we're on to 4B, Behavioral Health, resolution declaring September 10th as World Suicide Prevention Day and September 2025 as National Suicide Prevention Month. Oh, we got the crew.
Morning, thank you.
Good morning,
Morning.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Melissa Cilio, Behavioral Health Non-Clinical Program Coordinator. I'm joined by colleagues and local providers who I'll let introduce themselves as they make their way to the podium this morning. At this time, I'd like to invite any community members that are here today to support the proclamation to come up front. Good morning. Together, we are here to speak in support of the proclamation recognizing Suicide Prevention Month and World Suicide Prevention Day. Suicide Prevention Month brings communities together, uplifts the voices of survivors, and encourages open, honest conversation. We're encouraged to see that our county's suicide rate is trending downward. It's a sign that local prevention efforts are making a difference. Throughout September, we continue this important work through community events, including speaker presentations and question, persuade, refer suicide prevention trainings, providing tools that help recognize warning signs, intervene, and save lives. We also want to recognize the peers that are here today who will be sharing their lived experience. Their stories remind us that hope and recovery are possible. Thank you for proclaiming Suicide Prevention Month in Amador County. Your leadership today helps reduce stigma, encourage connection, and reinforces the message that suicide is preventable and support is always available. Thank you. And with that, I'll hand it over to Trixie Smith from Sierra Wind.
Good morning, Supervisors.
Morning.
Today, we also recognize World Suicide Prevention Day, which is on the 10th tomorrow, a global effort to prevent suicide and support those affected. Your leadership demonstrates that mental health is a priority in Amador County. Since 2003, this day has promoted connection, understanding, and action. Locally, Amador Speaks brings together leaders, advocates, and supervisors to carry this mission forward. Amador County has made real progress. Our suicide rate is declining with a statewide ranking of 6th for 2021 to 2023, which is down from as high as number 2 in past years. Proof that prevention works. This month, we continue the momentum with community events and suicide prevention trainings, giving people opportunities to learn, connect, and take action to save lives. We especially thank the peers sharing their stories today. Their courage inspires hope and shows that recovery is possible. And before they step up to share their stories, I just wanted to let you know that your little bags contain some fun items and also some important informational materials about suicide prevention awareness that you can share in the community and do your part to fight suicide. And I did want to add that the colors are teal and purple. Teal represents health and healing, and purple represents courage and strength.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today for Suicide Awareness Month. My name is Courtney. I'm a peer support specialist at Amador County Behavioral Health. And I stand before you not only as a community member, but as someone who's personally supported 2 close friends through suicide attempts. These lived experiences changed me in ways that I still carry, but they also taught me the life-saving importance of community connection and lived experience. Seeing my friends experience this, I saw firsthand how quickly isolation and despair can convince someone that life isn't worth living, but I also saw how powerful compassion and community can pull someone back from that edge. Sitting with them, listening without judgment, and helping them connect with support systems reminded me that suicide doesn't just impact the individual, it impacts everybody. It impacts the families, the friends, the workplaces, schools, and entire neighborhoods as a whole. What gives me hope is the strength of our community. Time and time again, I've seen people step up, neighbors checking in. Sorry. I totally lost my place.
All good.
Neighbors checking in.
Sitting and listening with them without judgment, helping them connect, and support systems reminded me that suicide doesn't impact the individual, it impacts families, friends, workplaces, schools, and entire neighborhood. What gives me hope is the strength of our community. Time and time again, I've seen people step up, neighbors checking in, local organizations, building safe places, schools teaching students how to recognize the warning signs, and peers sharing their own stories to break the silence. These efforts save lives every single day. They remind us that none of us are ever truly alone, even when we feel like it. Lived experience is a powerful tool in this work. When people hear from those who have walked through crisis, whether as survivors or as loved ones, they realize that recovery is possible. Sharing a story is not easy, but it's necessary. Because silence does not prevent suicide, awareness, compassion, and connection does. Our community has already shown what can happen when people come together with open hearts and shared purpose. By continuing to build on this momentum, by lifting one person up, by creating spaces for honest conversations and reminding every single person that their life truly has value, we can keep making a real difference. I carry these lessons of my friends' struggles with me every single day, but I also carry hope. Hope that by speaking, by acting, by standing together, we can create a community where no one has to truly suffer in silence. Thank you for your time, your leadership, and your commitment to suicide awareness.
Hi, my name is Clay Morris. I'm a peer support with Amador Behavioral Health. My lived experience is when I was just 6 years old, I lost my cousin to suicide. He was only 18. At that age, I couldn't understand why, but I could feel the impact and the silence it left behind, and that settled over my family like a shadow. As I grew, I came to realize something that has never left me. Suicide is a permanent solution to temporary pain. It doesn't end suffering, it just passes it on. It ripples outward, breaking the hearts of everyone who loves the one who is gone. Years later, when a child of my own turned to self-harm, I saw again how deep those ripples can cut. This isn't just an individual's battle. It's a family's wound, a community's ache, and a culture's responsibility. That's why I believe we must do better. We must stop treating suicide as an option and start treating connection as the answer. We must replace silence with conversation, isolation with compassion, and despair with hope. I'm here because I believe in life. I believe in the power of love, trust, and human connection to heal. I believe every single one of us has infinite worth and endless possibilities waiting to be lived. Let us not glorify the choice to end life. Let us glorify the gift of living it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good morning, Melissa Cranfield, Behavioral Health Director. Does anybody else want to speak? All right, come on up.
Hi. My name is Bob Broderick, and I didn't
Go ahead and
plan-
speak into the mic again.
My name is Bob Broderick. I didn't plan to be here. I just came to thank Supervisor Logan for a flag, Amador County flag he gave me last week, and they said it was down here. And just serendipity, I lost my brother 38 years ago, okay? I was 30 years old. He was 48 years old. He's a decorated Navy Vietnam combat veteran. And he killed too many young kids in Vietnam he had no business killing. He would go up and down the Mekong River and Delta. They would strafe with napalm. And then that boat was a floating tank, and he shot anything that moved. 20 years after, 1968, in 1988, he stepped off the porch with a rope around his neck. So I'm really happy these guys are doing this. I got another good friend who lost her sister, And it's just by, I don't know, God sent me here to talk, I guess, I don't know. But thank these guys, and thank you guys.
Thank you.
I just wanted to thank everyone for being here today and supporting suicide prevention. And thank you to all of you supervisors for once again doing a resolution to, for suicide prevention and Suicide Prevention Month and Suicide World Prevention Day. And thank you.
Okay. Anybody on Zoom?
Not at this time.
Okay. Well, with that, I'm going to read the resolution. Whereas September 10th, 2025 is recognized globally as World Suicide Prevention Day, and September is National Suicide Prevention Month, a time for communities to unite, raise awareness, and share messages of hope and healing. And whereas these observations highlight that suicide is preventable, treatment is effective, and recovery is possible for individuals of all ages. And whereas Amador County residents deserve access to quality prevention support and treatment services that promote recovery, wellness, and a healthy lifestyle. And whereas resilience begins in early life and can be nurtured in families, schools, community programs, while recovery encompasses the whole person, mind, body, spirit, and social connection. And whereas preventing suicide and supporting mental health positively impacts individuals, families, and the entire community, strengthening the fabric of society. And whereas it is essential for all residents to recognize warning signs, have open, courageous conversations about mental health, and connect to those in need to timely and appropriate supports, such as Amador County 24-hour crisis line, 888-310-6555, and the 988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline. And whereas Amador County Behavioral Health Services is partnership with Amador Speaks and community mental health providers is committed to expanding access to culturally responsive behavioral health services, reducing stigma, fostering community connection, and promoting mental wellness throughout the county. And whereas World Suicide Prevention Day and National Suicide Prevention Month provide an opportunity for all members of the community to raise awareness, strengthen resilience, and work together to support the affected by mental health challenges. Now, therefore, it be proclaimed that Amador Speaks and all members of Amador County Board of Supervisors on this day, 9th day of September 2025, that this month, September, is declared Suicide Prevention Month, and the day, September 10th, is declared World Suicide Prevention Day. Anything the board would like to say? Okay. Call for a motion.
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
First by Supervisor Epson, second by Supervisor Cornell. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, that is approved, 5-0. Come. Now to go the other way, we'll get a picture going. And one final thing I will say is it takes all you guys. I'm very much appreciative to all the stuff that you guys do by volunteering and, putting your hearts out there, because there's a huge thing on hearts, that get trampled on when you're doing this kind of a job. Scooting.
Get cozy. Thank you. Thank you.
Compassion overload. That's what I was trying to get out. Uh-oh. Veterans Affairs is calling me. Okay, next on the thing is update on activities at University of California Cooperative Extension, UCCE, on the CalFresh Healthy Living Program and other programs.
Morning.
Morning,
Good morning.
Fine.
Good.
we're here.
Mrs. Peak is going to pass out a folder for each one of you. This has a copy of today's presentation as well as a few other documents that we'll go over today.
Okay.
My name is Kathleen Carter. I work for CalFresh Healthy Living, University of California Cooperative Extension here in Amador County. And today's presentation is to simply give you a review of our year of programmatic success here in the county. Any questions yet? Cool, all right. So a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you a breakdown of the SNAP-Ed agencies from the federal level to the state level to the local level, as well as what UC Cooperative Extension looks like here in Central Sierra. Again, our impact report and our programmatic successes here in Amador County. So SNAP-Ed stands for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program Education Program. On the federal level, this is funded by the USDA, and this money trickles down through the oversight agencies at a state level and then at a local level. So the California Department of Social Services then breaks this down to the Catholic Charities of California, the California Department of Aging, the California Department of Public Health, and then the University of California Cooperative Extension. This then goes down to the local implementing agencies in order to carry out this program. In Amador County, specifically, that looks like 2 local implementing agencies, and that's the California Department of Public Health and UC Cooperative Extension. So you'll see that there. Awesome. Thank you. So UC Cooperative Extension is a variety of programs that are carried out throughout Central Sierra. The only one I'm here to talk about today is CalFresh Healthy Living, but I also wanted to put this up so you could see a few more of the programs that encompass UCCE. That includes 4-H, the UC Master Gardeners, UC Master Food Preservers, Forestry, California Naturalist, Livestock, and Natural Resources. So for the Central Sierra, for UCCE, the CalFresh Healthy Living program spans across 4 different counties. That includes El Dorado, Calaveras, Tuolumne, and Amador County. But we have 5 different offices. So for El Dorado County, that's Placerville and Tahoe. And then Amador County, Calaveras, and Tuolumne. We have around 9 educators, 1 program supervisor, 2 coordinators, and 1 advisor. In Amador, though, we only have 1 educator, 1 coordinator, and 1 advisor housed at the GSA building in Jackson. Again, my name is Kathleen Carter. I'm the only nutrition educator for this program in Amador County, and I've been here for about 3 years. So I started in the summer of 2022. Over the course of 3 years, I've implemented programming at around 27 different sites here in Amador County. That includes different schools, community organizations, tribal partnerships, and social services. At those 27 sites, again, this is 3 years in total, I've taught 958 participants, which are 958 people who live in this county, nutrition, gardening, and physical activity education. I've also distributed indirect education, such as electronic newsletters, media, and other forms such as that, to around 86,000 different people. That is definitely a repeat and with duplicates, since there are not that many people who live in this county. But I just wanted to give you a snapshot. And of all of the programming that we've done in the last 3 federal fiscal years, we've had 10 different sites in the county adopt policy systems and environmental changes to use gardens for nutrition education and have those gardens be edible. Now, on the left is some of the sites that we work with here in Amador. Some of the most notable ones are First 5 Amador, the school district, ATCA, at the homeless shelters and the Head Start sites, the Department of Social Services, Amador Senior Center, Arc of Amador, Community Compass, Tribal TANF, and Nexus's community centers. On the right are some of the different demographics that we serve. So early childhood education, those are the little young ones at the Head Starts. And then K through 12th grade students at the school district,
adults, older adults, and families, as well as adults with disabilities. At the bottom right is a sum of the curriculum. So like I said, SNAP Ed, we work with nutrition, gardening, and physical activity. Those are our 3 big initiatives that we focus on. So our curriculum consists of nutrition, gardening, physical activity, some financial literacy, specifically for high school students and some families when they think about what they're going to serve and how they're going to make their dollars stretch, and then also intergenerational. In addition to all of the education and the lessons that we provide, I also attend different community events that happen throughout the county. The 3 most notable ones are the Homeless Resource Fair that's put on each year. That's through our partnership with Sierra Wind, and you just saw Trixie up here. That's been really great, and it's been really great to connect and see what residents need and the resources that they're looking for each year at that fair. Also Farm Day, which is put on by Amador County Unified in partnership with UCCE 4-H, as well as the Celebrate Our Children event. We go there because of our partnership with First 5 Amador And then the countywide coalitions. I run 2 here in Amador. One is called the Amador County Connecting Hands. That one has a very notable project that we just finished, and that's in the folder that you've been provided. We've called it the Living Healthy in Amador County Guide. It's an updated version of a food security resource guide that was created back in 2008, and it was last updated in 2019. And this resource guide is also being provided in conjunction with Sutter Hospital's new project, the Amador County Health Improvement Collaborative, that they're currently working on. So we've been partnering with them in how to distribute this best to residents. And then the other coalition is the Amador County School Garden Coalition. Both of these consist of anywhere from 10 to 20 different county representatives for different community-based organizations, and we meet monthly and quarterly. And then that's a list of different indirect education. So again, those monthly newsletters, Harvest of the Month tastings, nutrition boards, so bulletin boards that are put up at the senior center and at the community centers and things like that. And then on the right is a flyer that's also in your folder. It's for the next Amador Connecting Hands meeting that's happening tomorrow, actually. Now, moving on to programmatic successes, the main one I'm going to focus on is the work that we've done in the last year and a half with the school district. So for this past school district, I trained 4 teachers across 2 schools in implementing nutrition-enhanced garden education lessons. That was done through 2 different types of curriculum called Twigs and Farm to Fork. And those 4 teachers, after receiving training and curriculum and materials, they implemented 16 different lessons at those 2 schools over the course of around 6 months. The other thing I'm going to focus on is the site-level assessment questionnaires, garden assessments, and the Smarter Lunchroom Observation. These are initiatives done by SNAP Ed or CalFresh Healthy Living for specific K through 12th grade schools. So the site-level assessment questionnaires is done to identify various different aspects of a school system to see what areas that they need programming or what areas they could be provided programming. Garden assessments are done to see what their school garden looks like, and again, what kind of curriculum or other materials they might need. And then Smarter Lunchroom is specific to the cafeteria and looking at the way that food is advertised or marketed to different students. The last thing is a triennial assessment of the local school wellness policy. The last 2 bullet points for the Smarter Lunchroom Observation and the triennial assessment are what I'm going to focus on the most because those were the 2 most impactful. And then those are the schools that I've worked with in the last year. We can go to the next slide. Thank you. So the Smarter Lunchroom Observation Scorecards, this is an initiative by CalFresh Healthy Living. Myself and the food service director went to 5 different schools during their lunch period, and we graded their cafeteria and their food service staff on how well fruits and vegetables were being marketed to students. Of all of these 5 schools, the average score that we received was 21 points out of 60 possible. So myself and Mike Pingree, the food service director, we sat down and we looked at all of these different scorecards. We each filled one out for each school, so we had 10 total. We looked at all these scorecards and we looked at what could be changed, what could be implemented, and what needed to happen in order to get the score higher for next year. From all of those changes, we looked at implementing a meal viewer program, adding flavor stations and fruit racks and baskets, salad bar signage so that the students know what is in the salad bar and what to pick, and then share bin containers to help reduce food waste. So Mike himself actually purchased all of these things in order to implement them at all 10 schools. So we only observed 5, but these are all being implemented at the 10 schools, and he spent around $38,000 so far in order to do that. The last thing is the triennial assessment. So the local school wellness policy is something that was established way back in 2017, 2018 by the USDA for unified school districts. In this last state review for the school district in Amador County, they were pinged on not being compliant with completing a triennial assessment. This is an assessment to test for compliance of the wellness policy, and that hadn't been done since 2017, 2018, when the school wellness policy was created for Amador. So CalFresh stepped in as technical support to help them identify the compliance and assess it for compliance. But also one of the main things that they were missing was the establishment of a committee of community members. So I worked with Mike and I worked with Stephanie Hess and a variety of other school district administrative staff, and we sat down and we assessed the wellness policy with a model one from USDA. And we found areas that they weren't compliant federally, and we found areas that they were compliant with, and we looked at ways that we could alter the language in order to stay compliant. And most of it was pretty small. A lot of it was just tiny different word changes, like the discrimination policy and things like that. But the main thing was the committee meetings. And so Mike set out a memo to the community inviting people to come and learn more about the wellness policy and needing to have these meetings twice a year. And we had our first one before the end of the school year this past spring. There was about 20 different folks who came out to that meeting. That was teachers, staff, students, community members, and other community-based organizations. So the next steps in staying compliant on the triennial assessment is to have the school board approve the changes that were made to this past policy. Again, those are the tiny little language changes that we made. The committee met, reviewed that, and now it goes to the school board for approval. One of the ways in the future that the school district can test for compliance is by using the Smarter Lunchroom Observation Scorecards and the other site-level assessment questionnaires. You have copies of those in your folders as well. One big project that the school district and I are hoping to work on is garden to cafeteria and farm to school. That's a really, really big thing that's going on in California right now. There's a lot of funding for it, but we've encountered a few barriers here in Amador County. The biggest one is funding. The second biggest one is space and staff turnover. So which school could we grow enough produce for us to serve in all of the schools in Amador? That's a lot of space, and our schools do not have that much space. Also summer maintenance, who's gonna take care of these plants if there's no one at the schools during the summer, right? So one of the things that we've...
Quick question on that.
Yeah.
So are you looking at buying produce from like local, farmers here, small farmers? Or are you looking at growing it at the schools?
Yeah, so that is definitely something that is being pushed by the state a lot in terms of local procurement from local farmers. And on the next slide, you'll see an example of something that myself and the school district have looked at as an alternative to doing so. If we could go to the next slide, please. So one of the things that we've found that's kind of difficult in Amador County is there aren't a whole lot of produce growers. And I mean, I think of the connections that I have with upcountry farms and other produce growers here in the region. They're selling out every single week at the farmers markets when we think of produce. And so Amador County works with 10 different schools. That's a lot of produce to serve in each school, and that's a lot of demand to put on a local farmer here in the county. It's definitely an opportunity, it's definitely a possibility, but one other possibility would be starting a school farm. A lot of these programs, they work, but in Amador, it could thrive with community partnerships. And one of the community partnerships we've identified is Mother Lode Land Trust. Is anyone familiar with the Chickazola land and the CNC Ranch and the community garden in the farm area over there? So they have around 160 acres, right? That's a lot of opportunity and that's a lot of land. So myself and the school district, my supervisor, and some of the other staff at UCCE, we went and met with the board of directors at Mother Lode Land Trust to see if this was a project that they were interested in taking on or being a part of. Our goal with starting a school farm at Land Trust is to grow produce that they can harvest, prepare, and procure at the school district. It's a lot more land over at CNC than there is at any of these individual schools. I mean, I've seen Ione Elementary's garden and Ione Junior's High's space, right? There's a lot of different factors. But having a community partnership, if we go to the next slide, it could be more cost efficient. We could utilize the land that's over there at CNC. It presents a lot of opportunities to learn more about agriculture and learn more about farming. You have the FFA kids at the high schools. This presents them a great opportunity as a career technical pathway to learn more about what it takes to be a farmer and to grow enough produce. It also reduces food waste. So we have this big community compost project that's happening at CNC in partnership with UC Master Gardeners from the grant with Cal Recycle. Having a school district in order to grow produce to have in their schools that could bring that waste back into the community compost, and then we're continuing that cycle of local food systems. You could also locally procure this produce a lot more closer to home rather than spending a lot of money and having these items purchased outside of California or outside of the county or outside of the United States. And you're also investing back into Amador. So, did that answer your question, Mr. Oneto? Great. So some of our next steps in this project are testing the soil, drafting a business plan. A lot of the Land Trust Board of Directors are down with this idea. So the next step would be to really see what the logistics are. What does the funding look like? What does staff look like? And how can we set this up to be successful and sustainable for the next couple years? Now, what's next for CalFresh Healthy Living? I know that you all were presented to by our county director, Jolynn Miller, at your last meeting. She clued in a little bit about the funding and what's happening with CalFresh, but as of July 4th, 2025, the big beautiful bill passed, which completely defunded the CalFresh Healthy Living program in California, but also the SNAP Ed program on a federal level. So unfortunately, that means our CalFresh programming has to end September 30th of this year because there is no more funding for this next federal fiscal year. So what does that look like with everything that I've just told you and all of our plans for the future, right? I've been working really closely with the school district, and I've been working really closely with our other UCCE programs in supporting and preparing our sites to continue this without us. We have 27 different sites. There are a lot of different garden projects and a lot of different nutrition education projects that are happening at all of those sites. They're all aware of this change, and they're all prepared to reach out for help. And that help can come from the UC Master Gardeners, the UC Master Food Preservers, and 4-H. There's a lot of opportunity there. So that's the way that we're addressing, or one of the ways that we're addressing how this programming is going away and what impact our communities are feeling it. And then I've worked here for 3 years, so this is also sort of like my farewell. So this is 3 slides of all the pictures of all the programming I've done in the last 3 years. Does anyone have any questions?
On that Motherlode Land Trust, can they use the creek water for the garden? Because the creek runs right through that property, doesn't it?
Yes, that's a great question. I do not know. We are in the very, very initial steps of this. Scott Oneto, our farm advisor for UCCE, who's here today also, he's back there, he went and tested the soil to see about the heavy metals. So that'll help us determine better if we're planting directly in the ground and if it's safe to do so, or if we need to build things like garden beds, like the ones that are already out there. In terms of the water, I'm not too sure.
And you have a 20-member board of directors, community partners, or?
So the board of directors for the Motherlode Land Trust, for myself. Yeah. So I've managed 2 different coalitions here in the county. That attendance varies on a monthly basis, but the invitation for those coalitions that go out, there are about 50 different representatives from community organizations that are on that list. The triennial assessment committee meeting that happened at the end of the spring semester for the school district, there was about 20 people who attended that meeting. And that was teachers, staff, administrators, some folks from the school board, UCCE, and other community members that attended that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else for supervisors?
Just one other question. That garden bears fruit in the 3 months that the kids aren't in school. Is that correct?
What do you mean?
I mean, when you plant a garden, it all comes to fruition when the kids aren't in school.
Yeah, so are you asking like what happens to that produce when the kids aren't in the school?
I'm just wondering if, what plan there would be to get, I guess it would be preservation.
Yeah, so one of the main reasons that I've seen in my experience working with teachers on why they aren't utilizing their current school gardens sometimes has to do with just like lack of knowledge or experience in gardening. Like gardening can be a really scary thing sometimes, but it's also why plant in April when we're leaving in 2 months, and then what's going to happen with that,
I mean,
right?
the garden in Pine Grove got planted and it
Yeah.
was a big thing, and then the school was empty for 3 months. So.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of ways around that. The ELOP programs that do summer school or other summer programs can be one alternative, right? They can go out and harvest that produce. Could also be something that's open to another community organization to harvest that and send it off maybe to the food pantry, maybe to other members of the community. It's really up to anyone, but it's also up to whoever decides to take that on. Different types of irrigation can also prevent the garden from drying out over the summer, right? Like why plant something like tomatoes when they're just gonna die when no one's here in 2 months? Drip irrigation helps prevent that, and it also helps save a little bit of water. And if we grew garden produce at CNC for procurement of every single school at the school district, there's an opportunity there because the community garden is open to all of the community. So even if that produce is being grown for the school district in the summer, if it's needing to be harvested before school starts again, maybe that presents an opportunity for that produce to go back to the community, whether that be sold to the community, whether that be donated to the community, who knows? But there are options.
Another question, on some of your programs, you have like a natural resources and a California naturalist. Could you maybe give a few more details on that?
Unfortunately, I cannot. I am an educator for the CalFresh program. I don't have enough information about California naturalists or the natural resources in order to do that. I work very closely with the UC Master Gardeners, Master Food Preservers, and 4-H. So I could touch a little bit about how those two programs connect and intertwine, but I don't have enough information about the others.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you all so much.
Anybody from the public want to speak on this subject?
Yeah, here's one.
Yes.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Noah Cook. I am the program supervisor for CalFresh Healthy Living in the Central Sierra. So I just wanted to address the question about food procurement during the summer, and in our discussions with Mike Pingree, the food service director, something that's came to light is that the school district here actually distributes meals to all of their students for the duration of the summer. So even though the summer is our highest yield in the garden, we would actually be able to serve that to students on a daily basis. All right, thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Good luck.
Anybody else from the public? Anybody on Zoom?
Not at this time.
Okay. Thank you very much on all that presentation. And now we'll go on to 4D, Code Enforcement, Discussion and Possible Action relative to a request by the subject department to hold a shred day to assist local citizens in disposing unwanted confidential documents. This will be no cost to local residents, but an estimated cost of $3,000 to facilitate the event.
Good morning, board.
Morning.
So I came here in April and came before you guys to ask on putting another shred event. We've had 2 of them since 2023. They both were very, very successful. They brought in a total of 11,420 pounds of shredded recycled paper, and we had over 262 vehicles. During that time, obviously, Caltrans was able to generously provide a grant in order to do that, and they did not get that this year. So I've so far, since April, I've had a total of 102 phone calls of people asking when we would like if we can put on another event. So I am asking if the board at this time would be willing to come together and be able to provide $3,000, which will pay for the shred truck. This event would be held at Top on Airport Road like it's been from 9 to 12 on a Saturday. And I, of course, will be running the event. And we're looking for in November doing it. Any questions?
Questions from the board?
I know some of the other community organizations also have shred days. Will that will impact them? Do you know at all? Or, I mean, I know like the Island Business Community Association, we put one on for the last 20-some years. We charge, I don't know, $5 or $10 a box, I forget, with something like that. We do very well with that. Are there other shred events besides? I'm just curious.
No, I don't know of any other shred events. Usually I'm told, or when people ask me, it's they're going to pay for something, yes. And usually this particular event, I have a lot of seniors that show up.
Okay.
So that don't have the funding to do so.
Is there an opportunity for them to donate at all, or just to kick a few bucks in to help out, or no?
That's completely up to you guys. If you want me to advertise that it's a paid event, I can do that. I just, in order to get it set up, I do have to have the funding to bring the truck in.
I just like a suggested donation or something. I mean,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Just kind of offset some of
How many phone calls again you say you had?
102.
Is that, I know it's probably maybe not a fair question, but were they all like separate entities, persons?
Yeah, majority of the time it was. I probably say out of that, 6 were very persistent on, okay, call me back in a couple of months, I'll tell you.
That's always how it is.
There's one right there.
I just have one small concern, as there are some local businesses who provide the service. So we're taxing those local businesses, and then we're using their tax dollars to take away business from them. So it's
The only one I know of is Staples. That's local.
Yeah, that's the only one I know of too, yeah.
okay. I guess that's at least one that's paying taxes.
And they charge $129 to $149 a pound.
A pound?
I mean, $1. Excuse me. I said 100. It's $1.29.
I would like to know those
$1.49.
documents.
Say there's about to be 2
Excuse me.
businesses that do it.
Well, I'm
not
looking
making
at
any
down the bottom. It
business.
says a whole bin is $249.
Yeah,
Okay, come forward. You want to speak on this? Anybody else from the public? Not a problem. We're here for you.
awesome.
I've been there 4.5 years, and I'm one of the ones that,
Can you say your name right quick?
oh, I'm sorry, Caroline Freno, and I live in Ione, 4.5 years now.
Thank you.
And I have I don't know, seniors, I mean, I collect a lot of papers, insurance papers, bank statements, things like that, that are all confidential, have all that confidential information, and it just kind of accumulates. So, I need somewhere to get rid of it that my information won't be out there for the public, and that's why I kept asking about the shredding, and I kept calling Michelle, patient lady she is. So I was just hoping that maybe you could really consider this, and if there was like a $5 charge or something, I think I can swing that, but yeah, financially, things have been, you know how things are going, everybody does, and I moved up here to help save money, and it seems like it's costing me more money now. So that's all I have to ask. If you could please consider it, I'd appreciate it.
Did you ever consider Staples or you not know about them?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know until just now that Staples does that, but I have a lot of stuff, like 4 years worth of papers, so, because up here there's no doctors, and I have to keep switching insurance companies every year on Medicare, so I have a lot of old insurance papers that have a lot of confidential stuff on it, so. But no, I hadn't considered that, but I may have to if you don't approve it, so. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Well, back to the board. Oh, actually, anybody on Zoom?
No, not at this time.
Back to the board.
I mean, I would recommend just, putting a request, a recommended $5 a box, whatever that would be, not a have to. We want to help people out, but if they could, I mean, it might add another shred day if, do 2 or 3 of them.
I've had people at the event actually want to donate money, but because I'm not supposed to, I did not accept it at those times when we did do it.
Do that.
So.
Greg, how does that
Well,
work?
I'm not.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
How does that work for her to do, for donations to, how do we account for that type of stuff?
You would just put faith in staff to collect it and turn it in.
Okay, so we'd have to make a line item into her budget?
Oh.
Got revenue.
What's
Got
that?
revenue line items.
Okay.
And just for the record, also, Going Postal offers it for 89 cents a pound.
Okay.
That's 2 places.
And they're local?
Yeah.
Yeah, up Martell.
Next to Starbucks.
Pardon?
Next to Starbucks.
Yeah.
There, yeah.
Yeah, that's where everyone knows. Starbucks, they probably know. I wouldn't, but most people would.
Okay, we're back to the board again.
So
this is
I
something.
think Logan brought up a good point. I mean, if there is businesses that do that, I mean, people call, that's not really cost prohibitive. I mean, $1 a pound, that's a fair bit of paper. So I think maybe in the future, we let people know, hey, there's a place that does that. And if you're talking a household, they're normally not going to have thousands of pounds of paper. So, and if it's a business, why should we pay to be shredding a business's papers? Just a thought.
Good thought.
If Michelle were to find a grant, would you entertain that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly. Grants are kind of like crack cocaine, I think, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So, any more thoughts?
I said mine.
Yep. I don't think I have a motion, so I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm coming before the people that were requesting it, so.
I understand, and I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
thank you.
No offense to young lady out there asking it, but you have Staples, Going Postal. Going Postal is a little cheaper. I understand that. I'd make a motion to deny holding a free shred day.
Good dive.
This just died.
Lack of motion.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay, 4E, General Service Administration requests for board approval to submit grant application for road improvement projects.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of
Morning.
the board. I'm Karen Warburton, Grants Program Manager and Analyst.
Jeff Chrisman, Project Manager, Public Works.
Good morning.
So we are here to revisit the rubberized pavement program grant and see if we can obtain some guidance for whether we should apply for this grant for specific roads, and whether we should, if we are to apply for the grant, which roads to submit for. So I submitted to you a memo with some tables that kind of show what the amount of money would be for applying this treatment to these roads. When we were here last time, you wanted us to investigate Lower Ridge Road in addition to the Comanche Village roads, and so we have done that. At this point in time, Jeff and I determined that there is some money for Ridge Road in a fund With interest, the amount that's available in that particular fund is $2.395 million. Excuse me. And the cost to do Upper Ridge Road, which that money has been earmarked for, is approximately $1.5 million. So we would have to reduce that fund by that much. And it is important to consider the fact that it does not include change orders that might come up in the process of doing the work on Upper Ridge. We can use that money for Lower Ridge, and so the amount remaining without change orders would be $895,000. And as you can see on table E, if we did Lower Ridge, and we had to actually add in the cost for striping. So if we were to do Lower Ridge with this grant, using the chip seal, the approximate cost to the county would be $264,000. That's on page 5 of the memo, in red there. And then if we were to combine this with Comanche Village, you can see it goes up to $1.6 million cost to the county. And it's my understanding, and maybe Jeff can expand on this a little bit, that we aren't going to be able to use the money in that fund for the Comanche Village area. It's just for Ridge Road only.
That would be correct.
That is correct.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I mean, I'm out there plenty, and the roads, they're just degrading as fast as they can. I think the sooner we get onto it, I mean, long term, it's going to be a lot of savings. Right now, we just gotta do what we can. Yeah.
Jeff, there's potential with this grant that we could just gather material because currently now we're doing grading, paving. Can we purchase this material at a reduced cost to use it for some of the things we're already doing?
Yeah, so if you did the asphalt rubber part of this grant, so the minimum of it's 2,000 tons. And if we had some roads down, I think we could use that on those roads.
Now, have you looked into laying the rubberized asphalt?
So I did talk to a couple contractors that have done it. They said it's not too bad to work with as long as you don't play with it too much.
As long as you don't what?
Kind of mess with it too much.
Oh, okay.
Kind of hit it once, roll it, and be done. But like Logan was saying, the county does do some greater patches here and there on the roads that are potholed. Nothing but patches.
Yeah.
Just kind of a quick overlayment, and that would save a lot of money in maintenance in the long run.
Yeah.
What's the cost per ton compared to the cost per ton of just standard asphalt?
So I believe we get it $72 a ton right now for asphalt in-house. This rubberized asphalt's right around $80 a ton. But this, I forget what it was. I believe they paid $30 a ton.
Yeah.
So with this grant, we could save $20 per ton on asphalt if we gave them a list of the roads that we grade or pave, and we'd at least have access to that material for $20 less a ton.
Got it.
Who were the contractors you talked to? Do you remember offhand?
Yeah, I talked to Consolidated Engineering. They're the ones that paved out there on Carbondale on the bridge project.
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking with him about it, and
Have they done much rubberized asphalt?
yeah, he said he does a lot. A lot of bigger cities are going to it because of these grants. They save a lot of money.
I just remember, and maybe because it was kind of a complex area, I remember George Reed did, I think, rubberized asphalt when he did that roundabout in Plymouth, and I think they do a lot of paving, and as I recall, they're pulling their hair out over it. And I think it was the work time got too long or something, and I think they ended up grinding it and taking it away and redoing it, I believe.
I've personally never messed with it. It's an idea.
Yeah. I know it's a different animal. But maybe
Yeah,
like
that
if
to
it's
the-
straight stretched, maybe it might work fine.
If we added it to the grant to have access to that, and then we so chose, or we decided we don't like it, do we have to spend any of that money, or can we just put this in the grant and have it as an option and try it, and if we don't like it, we don't have to keep spending, or are we held to whatever we put in there?
So, once you sign a grant agreement with the state, you are sort of beholden to continuing on with your project that you agreed upon. My experience is they've been accommodating about, when we want to back out of a grant, but you do sort of get a reputation of doing that, and so then it might affect our ability to get grants in the future.
And so do we have the bandwidth, like, so we can get these projects done here, but do we have the bandwidth to do more projects? I mean, we got a 2028 deadline. I don't want to push that. I want to make sure the grant's satisfied. And then if we get these things done, can we reapply during that same cycle, or if there's money left over, or how does that go?
Not for the same cycle, but they do offer this grant annually.
Okay.
And so we would be able to apply
Okay,
again.
cool.
There's a limit to how many times you can apply or be awarded the grant, but it wouldn't happen for a while.
Well, this would be a good test, in my opinion. Get this thing done, get it satisfied, get the grant fulfilled, and then next year we apply again and maybe, keep at it.
So part of your question is Lower Ridge Road or in the Comanche with this?
It's either or both is what we talked about last time, and we specifically were referencing the chip seal, which is why I focused the memo on the chip seal costs.
And I think the Lower Ridge of funding's there to do it, basically. So this is kind of help
So we
some
can
of the
share
costs.
the extra that's off of the original line item, and then this grant, both on Lower Ridge Road.
Yes, this grant would reduce the costs by $375,000, essentially.
Yeah.
That's the maximum of the grant.
Well, that would only be if we do.
How much of that road would we be able to do?
We're shooting, I believe she has it down to the Cedar Creek city limits.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, you'd have to do the whole almost $2 million to get that $375,000. Correct.
If you're looking at Comanche combined with Ridge.
Yes, Table E.
Yes, Table E, that amount is the very last amount in the red. So the $1.6 million that you're looking at there, that's the cost to the county. That's
Yeah,
after.
the total cost would be the $2 million minus the $375,000, which is
Correct.
millions.
Correct.
Yeah. So you have to have a $2 million project, basically, to get that.
Yep.
And we have the money for the Ridge Road.
Mm-hmm.
But the other, basically, $1,357,000, or total cost of county of $982,000.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that funding, do we?
That's where we need your help. If you want to pursue that, we would need to know where that funding would be coming from.
I think we could look at reallocating SB1 money.
That's my
to cover
question.
it. Yeah.
So it would be nice to have a little bit of help if we're doing a project and have some that basically paid for.
Now to get the whole 4 miles of ridge done, basically for $260,000 is that's a bargain.
Do we know that, I'm not familiar with the condition of the Cedar Creek piece. Do they have any intention of, does it need as much attention as the rest of it, or do they have any intentions of completing it? I'm just asking the question. It's probably not known, but I'm just.
I haven't talked to.
That's fair. Okay, all right.
There's enough potholes.
Oh, I know. Right, nice. I figured we applied for it and we could, put a word out to them and say, hey, you guys are probably eligible as well, so.
That 264 that Karen has there, that's a low number.
Yeah.
We got to add traffic control, all the signage.
Right, okay, yeah.
Mobility of the contractor. So that price is going to go up, but
Right.
just a food for thought, I guess.
Is there potential we could just add one road that we plan on greater paving and try it one time like, just put in enough to try this material?
Problem is you have to do 2,000 tons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I think, Logan, kind of like you said, I think we could always go and pick up a load in-house. Maybe we pick up 10 tons at some time and try it on a greater patch, and if it works, then
Then put in for this grant and get all those roads that are just potholes on top of potholes and.
When does this grant need to be turned in?
Thursday.
Oh,
You know, I've got a question.
motion now.
It looks like the chip seal, the reimbursement is $1 a square yard,
Yes.
and you're looking at 80,000 square yards for the Ridge Road,
Yes.
and the total cost of that is $639,000.
Yes.
So if you take 80,000 from that, you're gonna have what, 550,000 cost the county?
Yeah.
Not 264. That be correct?
The grant itself, though, will reduce that amount.
No, the grant though, the grant awards are based on the following rates: $1 per square yard.
Right.
So if you're only doing 80,000 square yards, I think you can only reduce the cost of that project by $80,000.
sounds right.
That's right. So basically, the cost of the county would be 550,000.
You
I
might
would
be
think.
right. You might be right. I maybe made a mistake.
Which, you know, I mean, hey, it's still $80,000 is $80,000. I like that, but. I mean, I think it'd be nice to, so if you get the, Comanche Village, if we, money from SB1, it'd be nice to be able to recoup some of that cost back from, Cal Recycle. But we'd have to get that money from SB1 or somewhere to fund that down there.
And Comanche out there, I know some of the roads are way worse than others. I mean, do we, like, I won't say need, but should we repave all of them like it's planned, or is there ones that we could probably cut out, or does it matter? I know some of them got weeds growing in them, I know that, but.
Yeah, most of Comanche villages have.
Yeah, it's just the age of it, yeah, that's what I figured, yeah, that's what I recall, so, yeah. All right.
Supervisor Oneto, to your point, if it were to cost the county somewhere around $500,000 for the Ridge Road section, keep in mind that in that Ridge Road fund, we have $895,000, not counting potential change orders. But, you know, that basically gives us about $300,000 for change orders and potentially a little bit more beyond that. So we should be able to cover that, I would hope, with that fund,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
maybe we're talking apples and oranges in.
Yeah.
Any other questions, suggestions? Which way we want to go with this? Do we want to redo the SB1 money to incorporate this whole project? Want to keep it separate? Just do Lower Ridge Road just to see how this material works?
Well, it's gonna be done next year, I think we probably, I think we should get moving. I mean, it's in my district, to be fair, but I also think, I know the condition of the road out there, it's not gonna get better.
I guess
It's
the
gonna get
question.
more expensive as we go, it just will.
Sorry.
Got a lot of road to do.
I guess the question would be what we have to, what SB1 is programmed for right now that we'd have to take away.
Do we have any?
I don't have it offhand. We could dig it up.
But we have money to assist, so whatever SB1 is presently doing, it's not going to get a deduction or percent off.
I mean, we can just push it till next year.
We have some SB1 money coming in soon enough anyway.
Yeah, we're getting $2 million a year.
Right.
So we just push whatever this takes the place of off. till
Jeff,
next
do you know at all? Okay.
Is there any potential, we would just want to try the one? I mean, just to make sure we like it?
Oh, it's good stuff.
Okay.
The only question would be, I mean, if you want to do a regular chip seal in those roads,
I do.
That's the only question. I don't think it holds up near as well. But that's just putting that on the table.
Well, do we want a discount on this project, or do we not want a discount on this project? That's kind of what we're asking for right
The
now.
Ridge Road, I think, is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But, do we keep Comanche in this too?
That's the question. It probably would save, what, maybe 10% on the cost, would you say, roughly, if we went with?
Yeah, roughly. I think Comanche has some dig outs too, so
Yeah, there's some dig outs, but there's not as much striping. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
There's a center line out. I don't think there's a fog line out there at all, I don't think. So, I mean, the striping's gonna be less out there just by the way the roads are built. And I think if it were gonna, rubberized out there makes more sense. I mean, it's travel, but it's not a major thoroughfare. It gets enough traffic. I think it would preserve it for a lot longer as opposed to, their heavier trafficked areas. I mean, it seems to me that might, get another 10 years down the road or more probably.
Yeah, I guess one question I'd have would be, what Dan was saying, like, how many of these roads out here are critical for that subdivision? Or some just little minor access roads?
So actually, my dad lives out there. My brother does too. And that's why I didn't include it. This came up from the superintendent and supervisor to add Comanche. But I was actually out at my dad's last week, and then he lives on a court. There's 3 houses on it. And there's 1/2-inch cracks with weeds growing through it on his court.
Mm-hmm.
That's a less traveled road in Comanche.
Yeah, it's the time.
They all look about the same.
Mm-hmm.
This whole county's that way.
Yeah, you got it.
I guess
I'm walking with my wife at night, I'm trying to get her exercises, and I'm sitting and going over the alligators in my own court. So, yeah, no, it's.
That's what I'm saying. We get this project done, we just keep moving.
Yeah.
As done as we can. I mean, we're gonna save some money, it'll stretch out what we're doing.
I think it's a discount. Your area hasn't gotten a whole bunch of money lately anyway. And for roads, neither all of us, but still.
Well, I was just looking at a lot of courts on here.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of going, how many houses are on these courts? And I'm looking at like, I'd be more interested, what I'm thinking about, maybe I'm just, ACTC's looking at doing some projects. I don't know what their timeline is. And maybe if we could somehow bring those in, more major roads. Now, maybe some of these might be some major roads, I think, like maybe Village Drive and something like that. I'd be more supportive of doing roads like that. The little courts, I'm going, hey, like in my district, Fiddletown Road is an absolute disaster. And I'm thinking, well, should we be doing courts when we have, good-sized roads that are falling apart? Probably not.
My thought's why I was asking. My thought would be to get the major thoroughfares done, the courts, cracks, seal them while we're out there, do what we can, preserve them as best we can.
Yeah, so maybe I don't know what which are the major roads out here. Probably you know or Dan would know. I'd be more willing to do
I
some of
would
those.
leave it up to you guys to pick through what you think is really critical and get after that. And then, I know like Roadrunner's pretty busy, Coyote's busy, Cheyenne maybe. Duck Creek is way out there, but I don't know what condition it's in. It's
Creek, Village, Grapevine.
Yeah, Grapevine for sure, that road. That's definitely one that needs to be done. I know the condition of it's super fun, so.
What was the timeline to get this in by? Was it
Thursday? This Thursday. Yeah.
I can't remember when these projects were looking at, but they had funding for roads, and it would eat up, probably enough some square yards and dollar-wise to be able to get the whole 375,000.
I'm not sure if any of these roads qualify for the ACTC funding, because those have to be like major collectors or emergency routes. And is it that call for projects that we just had, or those ones you were talking about?
Yeah, what I meant was we could still use this funding on those roads.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
As far as grant funding.
That's been our point from the very beginning is that we need to hit the collector roads, as we've been saying. It doesn't matter, where they are at. So I kind of agree with Supervisor Neto. We need to pull off all the courts off of here and just look at the main thoroughfares for this type of thing. Is there any way we can get that together for Karen to have it ready by Thursday?
Yeah.
And will it be enough to qualify that 2,000 ton minimum?
Well, it's still chip seal, so we
Okay,
think we'd have it.
yeah. All right, okay, cool. I'm satisfied with
You
that.
know, one more thing, Logan was talking about maybe buying, but the asphalt, you have to, could we commit to buy that and then lay that, or is that?
I didn't hate your idea of just going and, instead of buying what we normally buy, next time we're doing something, we go try that for a couple dollars more, and if we like it and we can work with it, then from that point forward, we'll be saving $20 a ton. Something along those lines.
Public comment?
Well, so for now, we'll do,
Well,
go forward to
kinda
Ridge
make
Road,
What we're thinking about.
and then, want to do the major collectors? Or the major roads down there in Comanche Village?
Yeah.
And I would suggest too, perhaps if there are a few courts that really do need some attention, maybe worry about that. If there's some that are just have a few courts. You
What
know?
are you gonna do with Dan?
I'm just asking.
Who lives on one of the courts you don't do?
Yeah, well, I just know some of them are, I mean, if they're really bad
Gotta be
shape, maybe
all
it
of 'em
saves
or
money.
nothing.
Yeah, we've got to kick the
Just
courts
for
out.
peace, though.
Oh, you're probably right about that.
Yeah.
Because I got to look at my
Yeah,
own self.
You're fine. I get it. All right.
The first thing my wife would be yelling at me, "You're doing courts and you didn't do ours?"
What do you think his dad's gonna say to him?
Yeah, I know Michigan Bar too, that's the road, or Sutter Island Road, actually, that's another whole nother knot, but yeah.
So,
You're
with
gonna
this,
bring wives in this, and I'm gonna have my wife saying, our ranch road,
yeah,
Yeah.
I must see that's our road.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, do we have any public comment on this? Okay. Anybody on Zoom?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Which way do we want to go? Do we want to go with the collector roads, both Comanche and Lower Ridge? Do we want to go with just Lower Ridge?
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve Lower Ridge Road and the collectors in Comanche.
Do I have a second on that?
I think I'd second that.
Okay. First by Supervisor Evans, second by Supervisor Cornell. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any opposed? It's 5-0. You got your marching orders. Let's hope you can get it
you,
together
guys.
by Thursday.
Yeah.
Get this.
And
get
maybe,
this together.
sorry.
Go ahead.
And maybe also look into maybe if you can buy material and stock, something we could do, if the county buys it and lays it, does that qualify?
So I think with this rubberized chip, it kind of mixes in the truck, so you'd have to buy a whole setup.
Okay.
I mean, if we're
Regular chip seal,
rubberized asphalt,
yeah, we could haul that in our own trucks.
yeah. But I mean, look into what he's talking about, Logan was talking, maybe laying some of that ourselves.
Yeah,
And-
greater patching. Yep. No
I
problem.
don't think you'd want to do patching with it, I don't think. But check
Not
on,
potholes, but like Logan was saying, some of the roads that they're just patches,
Yeah.
the county will go out and spread it with the grader and roll it and just get rid of all the patches. So if we could do something like that,
I mean,
and we're not working with it too much.
yeah, I think there's something to that, because I know if it gets mad, I guess you have horrible problems.
Yeah.
Do you want to include that as part of this grant, or we're just,
I don't think so.
okay?
Yeah. We're just trying to give somewhat direction and keep on going. So part of this is just to get our collector roads and Lower Ridge Road and get that going.
Okay,
And Comanche, I should say. Let's make sure to prioritize that.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Okay, does anybody need to take a break before the 10:30? Well, we have a few minutes. Let's go ahead and do the
4F.
supervisor meeting minutes. Anybody have any changes?
Yep, good.
Yeah, good to me.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I heard Supervisor Epson first, second. So, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Well, that took a whole minute. Move the clock a little forward. Okay, we got 2 minutes. Since it is a time-specific item.
Anybody know a good joke?
Well,
Well, I'll just go a minute ahead. 5A, General Services Administration Memorandum of Understanding with Golden State Connect Authority to construct a broadband network in the county and issue bonds for that purpose. This is a continued hearing.
Thank you, Chair Brown and members. My name is Pat Blacklock. I am the CEO for RCRC, the Rural County Representatives of California, and in that role, I'm also the Executive Director for Golden State Connect Authority. And I'm joined today by our Vice Chair and Alpine County Supervisor David Griffith, who's in the back and who will join me in a few minutes for a few words, and then Kyle Zimmelman and Shane Pope, who you met last time when we were here. I know you have in your packets, and you heard a little bit about GSCA, Golden State Connect Authority, at your last meeting, but I just wanted to maybe reaffirm a few points. One is that it is a joint powers agency that was formed by Amador County and 39 other rural counties December 2021. And the reason for that was that the state was on the precipice of releasing about $6 billion in broadband funding for counties. And our rural counties recognized they just did not have the staffing to go after those dollars. And if we didn't find a collective solution, those dollars might pass us by. So GSCA was born as a joint powers agency to help rural counties obtain and administer those grant funds. And within a year, we had obtained about $19 million to do actual engineering, including here in Amador County. And now, a couple of years later, we've been awarded $185 million for construction, which we will pair with about $100 million in municipal bond financing to bring fibers to homes, a last-mile fiber system throughout rural California, including Amador County. And the agreement before you today is an essential step for moving forward and bringing that program to life. I did want to address some of the concerns that I heard at the last meeting. One of the key concerns was wanting to make sure we're able to work closely with and partner with Volcano Communications. And I want to thank Frank and the Volcano team for meeting with Barbara Hayes and Kyle just last week to talk through the project's status. In short, while we can't unring the bell in terms of the project area and the projects that is before you, and which was informed by the California Public Utility Commission's maps, which are outdated in places and stale in places. We recognize that that's true throughout California. And so some of that application did rely on that outdated information, but we can't unring that bell. The application that you have before you is the one that's been awarded. What we can do, however, is formalize how we partner going forward. And to that end, Golden State Connect Authority, being an arm of the county, puts us in a good position to partner as compared to if those funds had been awarded to one of the major telecom companies that we're seeing in other parts of the state, where they're a little less flexible maybe and a little less willing to engage in that sort of partnership. So I think we could see this as an advantage in terms of we're an arm of the county. If your interest is clearly stated to partner, then we want to figure out how to do that effectively. So one suggestion for the board to consider today as part of your actions is to ask and formalize that GSCA meet regularly with Volcano to hopefully build out a partnership that could include everything, not only from Volcano being on the system, but also how we market the project and doing so in a way that complements and supports Volcano, and potentially even in the future contracting with Volcano for services where we might not have the capacity to do it on our own if Volcano is amenable. And secondly, since Supervisor Oneto is on the GSCA board of directors and Supervisor Brown as an alternate, then one suggestion would be that they act as an ad hoc or join those meetings in some way to help facilitate and steward those meetings. And so we set them on a regular recurring basis. We have the county engaged in them, and we come to those meetings to really strengthen the partnership going forward. And I see a lot of opportunity if we were to do that. In addition, I think meeting regularly with the county reps could provide us a venue to try and align how we construct and deliver the project in a way that doesn't, say, unnecessarily open up county roads based on the last discussion. And so sitting down with you, I think we could work on timing and construction methods to try to minimize that and mitigate it as we go forward. Long story short, I think there's a lot of good that can come from working together. And I think being an arm of the county, we're uniquely positioned to do that as opposed to if one of the other telecoms had been awarded those funds. At the end of the day, We're poised to bring about 57 million in state funds, which will be coupled with another 10 million in bond funds to bring fiber to homes in Amador County. And I think we can all agree that's a good thing to get done. And better yet, like I said, since we're a public agency, we can collaborate with you and be much more flexible. So all that said, before you is a proposed MOU between the county and GSCA that is the next step to deploy these funds. There is a sense of urgency on our part to get the agreement executed. We are now poised to release the construction RFPs and, more importantly, the bond financing over the next 6 to 8 weeks. And having these agreements in place is a fundamental piece to be able to effectively go out, for example, to the bond investors and show them that we have the foundation built for their successful investment in the system. So as noted, you may want to consider adding language to the staff recommendation that asks GSCA to meet regularly with the county and Volcanoes so that we have that recurring regular venue, and that could be part of the motion. And with that, I'll pause and turn to see if Supervisor Griffith may have a few words that he wants to add, and then certainly we're all available for any questions you may have.
Thank you, Chair and members of the Board of Supervisors. Some of you know me and some of you don't. Maybe that's a good thing. I'm a supervisor from Alpine County from District 5. That's the northern part of the county. I'm also the vice chair at Golden State Connect Authority. I suspect that Amador County is very much like Alpine County in one way. Nobody was going to give us fiber to the home. We had no interest from other counties. We're stuck with Frontier at one part, AT&T in another, and part of the county, which is shared with Amador County, is Kirkwood, which is lucky that they have Volcano. I've heard nothing over the years about good things about Volcano, and I even tried to convince Frank to come over to Alpine County and take over from Frontier. So I understand your concern with Volcano. But the key thing is, if we want high-speed internet to our homes and businesses, we need something that works. And Golden State Connect Authority is stepping in where we wouldn't have other companies like the AT&Ts of the world. They would not be providing this in the rural areas, in the more isolated areas, because it simply didn't pay. And so Alpine County is on board with this very strongly. We passed this same resolution at our last board meeting a week ago, and I'm urging you to, do what we did. And yes, in the county, there's some questions about why are we approving a $120 million bond issue? Well, the county is not liable for any of that. Golden State, it's strictly an obligation of Golden State Connect Authority. So there's no financial risk involved. And I think that's the best thing for all of our people that live in Alpine or Amador County, or all the rural counties in the areas where the population density is just not attractive to the big internet companies. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to take them. And if not,
Appreciate the input.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
thank you all.
Okay, anybody from the public?
Did you reopen the public hearing?
You know what? I did not. And motion to open the public hearing.
So move.
Second.
Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we're to the public. And anybody on Zoom?
Not at this time.
Yeah, please. Frank, you're the public.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, thank you for your time and your interest in this. I really applaud you for looking out for the local company as much as you do, and it's very much appreciated by our management and by all of our employees as well, so thank you very much. We did indeed have a meeting with Golden State Connect, and we realized that we pretty much exhausted most of or any of our abilities to basically modify the project. It's a contract that's been signed, it's completed, so we're just going to probably have to live with it. Are we happy about it? No. And the issue is we're not unhappy about competition or putting new fiber optic, which again I say is the gold standard. That's what the county wants and needs. in areas where there's not existing infrastructure. Our problem has been, and still is, that there's overbuild of perfectly good, almost brand-new fiber in 30 to 35% of the project area for Golden State Connect.
That's fiber Volcano Telephone put in.
Yes, that's correct. Using taxpayer funds. It's all underground, it's all state-of-the-art, basically gig and multi-gig capable as far as transmission speeds. So, that being said, we did indeed file 2 challenges to the CPUC regarding the overbuild. Best of my knowledge, they never even got back to us. So we pretty much exhausted that route as well. So we're basically willing to move forward with the project. It was refreshing to hear that Golden State would open that up for some meetings that would benefit maybe all involved. So that is of interest that I will take back to our ownership. Are there any questions, gentlemen?
So the CPUC has not gotten back. I mean, what, is there any likelihood of them getting back and then modifying the contract? That's just kind of.
We don't believe so, sir.
I don't doubt it, but I just thought I'd ask again. All right.
Yeah, they seem to have an agenda that's a little different than the rural counties. No disrespect intended, but.
No, fair enough. So then where the overbuild's going to be, it'll just be redundant? Is that kind of what we're looking at, or?
Excuse me, say that again, sir.
So where the overbuild will be, it'll be pretty much just redundant, like there'll be 2 lines?
Yes.
And will they be in the same location, or does it just?
We don't know where their engineering plans are, so we have to, maybe in these ongoing meetings, we could coordinate some of that.
That'd be
so
good.
we don't have cut fibers or other infrastructure damaged.
I mean, redundancy is not horrible. It's just kind of, it's just wasteful, I guess. That's probably the only concern.
Well, redundancy in the middle mile going down the valley is important.
Sure.
Redundancy in the drops to the individual houses.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's the worst part. The most expensive part of the contract would be that type of redundancy, and that to us just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Frank, in your discussions, I think Pat mentioned it too, there is a possibility of some revenue sharing running through your system.
Well, they had talked about that, and certainly we'd be
Might build
interested.
it when you're gonna rent it, kind of.
Yeah, we can talk
Well, at
to them
least
about
that's
that.
something they talk about.
Sure.
If you cut the redundancy down to 15%, you've made it a lot better project.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe one last question. I'm not sure who to ask it to, but so if there's money, quote unquote, left over, can that be reprogrammed for the same build, or?
I would have to
Okay.
defer that to Golden State on that.
That's what I figured it. Thank you. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
The short answer is if there's future system revenues that aren't allocated, then the intent for Golden State Connect Authority is to build the system out. And so we would work with you and Volcano to figure out, okay, where are the areas in the county at that point that need expansion?
And
We heard
not trust CPUC.
exactly. And that's a common theme, I could tell you, across the state as we go out there in terms of the frustration with those maps and what they mean. I think Frank hit the nail on the head. We need to get around the table, work through the project together as we go through engineering and construction, and look for win-wins. And I'm confident that we will find ways to strengthen the partnership.
But I'm really kind of curious if homeowners would say, no, I need another drop sitting at my house.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, that's part of what my chagrin was. We've got some areas that have like minimal service, if any, like Shenandoah Valley, and maybe some other areas even around there. And we went and did overbuild. I mean, I don't know if you weren't talking to Volcano Telephone enough or what, or you just looked at the maps and didn't talk to them, but that was, overall, the project is probably a benefit. I'm not arguing that.
Right.
I'm just thinking we could have got maybe a little better bang for the buck and not put so much pain quite in Volcano Telephone.
We'll look at Shenandoah, I think, as an opportunity for the future. Like I said, I can't unring the bell now, but we can certainly look to how we can strengthen it going forward and look at Shenandoah and other areas that the county might identify through these recurring meetings.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
The
businesses
local
there.
telephone company would have, during the ISP portion of it, would have a favorable.
Absolutely, and we
Mission.
asked Volcano for their ideas and how to make sure that we structure that in a way that takes advantage of that. And so we'll be building that over the coming months, and we'll look for feedback from Volcano, and that's another good example where sitting down with the local ISP on a regular recurring basis, I'm hopeful that we can do good things.
Yeah, I have another question too. I believe Shane's basically your contractor?
He's the contracting lead for the agency, yes. We'll go through a competitive procurement process and bring on a contractor according to all the, it's a public work under California law, so we've got to go through all the California's public work procurement processes. But Shane will oversee that.
Can you have any type of local contractor's preference put in your?
Question. Greg may know the answer off the top of his head, but I'll have to do some research on that one.
I'm not sure.
I think we have something like that in the county.
We do.
Yeah, the county does.
Yeah.
We can take that back, take a look at it, absolutely.
it's-
We're
it's
building
a
those
thought.
RFPs right now.
If we vote on this, what would be an appropriate amount of meetings with Volcano? Because I'd like that to be
We want to set up a
included in the motion.
regular, recurring schedule, whether it's every month initially, and then we can go to quarterly if needed. I would look, and I'm hopeful that supervisors may be willing to join. And if so, I'd look to them for guidance in terms of what they think is right. But I think we're at a fairly pivotal stage right now for the next few months. So meeting monthly, in my mind, would be a good cadence right now.
Okay, that could be amended after.
Absolutely.
After.
Yeah, maybe you can empower the supervisors to be the ones to sort of drive that.
Yeah, I just would want that in the motion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to be on that committee then, or?
Well, it's the
I'm
two of
not-
us, because we're the,
Okay, okay, well, all right, we'll stay there, all right. One more question, Mr. Blacklock. Are you, as far as when you're doing the work, is it gonna be like, RFBs or RFPs?
It will need to be an RFP under state law, yes.
RFP?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why it's
Basically,
important that the engineering be dialed in and that we get good bids and that we make sure we get a high-quality contractor as a result, but we do have to go with the lowest cost.
Okay, so it's a request for bids then?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better have it right then.
Yes.
I'm thinking about that one, I can't remember the name of that, he probably knows the name, that one at Fiddletown.
Shane doesn't know the name of it.
He probably wants
He remembers it well.
he probably wants to forget the name of it, but yeah, it was not pretty.
Right, that's what he said. He came in to clean up and he said exactly what you said about it.
Yeah. I'm good.
you good?
Mayor, just a question, I heard you talk. We already have two supervisors formed a committee.
Right.
So we don't have to do anything.
It's the two of us.
I just didn't hear what you said.
Because we're both on the RCRC and then the Gold State. We're both.
And our thought is you could just add to the staff recommendation, something about those two supervisors helping steward monthly meetings with Volcano for
Right.
the foreseeable future.
You're telling us to do our job, is what you're telling us to do.
That's okay. We'll get with it.
Job's on the line.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any more questions? Okay, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, back to the supervisors.
Well, then I guess I'll approve the MOU to move forward with development and the financing of the project. And you'll need the 2 easements for the fiber huts. That's
I
Got it?
don't think at the last meeting, they indicated they don't need the easements. So they need the memorandum of
Okay.
understanding to be approved, the resolution to be approved, and then if the board wants to add some action item on the
You're gonna
meeting.
waive the reading of the
on
resolution?
meetings.
And then you want to,
So MOU, resolution, and then if the board wants to put in
Yeah.
something in the action about regular meetings.
yeah. Can we just say a regular meeting and hold them whenever we hold them? Whenever we, just have meetings with Golden State Connect Authority? Yeah, we can pick out the times.
Can we add something, a monthly meeting for the first year with Volcano that can be amended to something more than 0 in the years following?
I'm fine with a monthly meeting.
As needed afterwards, but more than 0 times a year?
Yeah. Make that part of the motion. Also, you need the public hearing too then, Greg?
Public hearing's been closed,
Okay.
so just the MOU, the resolution, and the meeting, right?
I didn't know if you need a second one for the something, but I thought this was it.
I think this is it.
Okay.
Does the resolution have the finding? for-
The resolution is the one about the bonds,
Got it, thank you.
and the MOU is the MOU.
Okay, so that's it then.
So you're good with that, Supervisor Crew?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Motion by Supervisor Neto, second by Supervisor Crew. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that is approved. Thank you very much. Now we go on to 5B, Administrative Agency, discussion of possible action relative to public hearings to consider adoption of 2025-2026 fiscal year final budget.
Supervisors, this is the final step in the approval of the budget for the 25-26 fiscal year. The budget before you is a balanced budget containing no layoffs. We have made cuts. The cuts were included in the preliminary budget as well. There hasn't been much in the way of changes between preliminary and final, but we are continuing to hold positions vacant and require requests of the board to fill vacancies as they come up, just as a matter of trying to be prudent and to save money wherever we can. So in front of you, the budget this year is a $61.8 million general fund budget, which is a much larger budget than typical. You'll see both the general fund and the road fund are a little bit inflated because of ongoing projects. The general fund because of the jail, and the road because of the 88 project in Pine Grove. Those budgets will come down once those projects are complete. So any questions, anything I can answer for you? Otherwise, I'd recommend we open the public hearing and approve the budget as submitted.
I just have a thought. I will say about this budget, I was thinking about the DA's office, you know? But I do appreciate the Deputy DA's outreach and her efforts, Miss Casey's efforts, so I just appreciate her reaching out, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Do I have a motion to open the public hearings?
So moved. Sorry, Pat.
Okay. I'll take you as a second, Supervisor Crew.
Oh, if I can't be first.
I'll withdraw mine.
Okay, it's that time of the morning. Okay, we have it first by Supervisor Epson, second by Supervisor Carnell to open public hearings. Anything for the public now that we've lost all the public?
It's gone.
I got a thumbs up from KVGC.
All right.
Okay. Anybody from Zoom?
No, not at this time.
Okay, do I have a motion to close public hearings?
You want it, Pat?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Moved, but yeah.
Didn't get the second.
He did.
I get the
Supervisor
second?
Carnell is what he's.
I'll second.
Oh, did I say Carnell? No, I said Crew.
Perfect.
Okay, so who's the motion right now? The motion to close
Anybody
public
wants
hearings?
it,
I'll take it.
Okay.
I want to first that one.
Okay.
Okay, first by Supervisor Cornell, second by,
Anybody? I mean, all right, I'll second it.
gotta give it to me. Okay, motion to close public hearings, call for the vote, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, now we're back to the supervisors to approve the budget. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve the budget as presented.
Okay, got a motion from Supervisor Crew to approve the budget as presented. Do I have a second?
Yep, I'll second it.
Okay, Supervisor Cornell, seconds.
Good job, by the way.
Well, thank you. Actually, I was going to say good job to Tacey and Kim.
Yeah.
Who put together it was a challenging year this year. So they had lots of challenges, and some challenges we are actually a little bit not used to coming from funds that we aren't used to being challenged in. So, but we've got it resolved, and going forward, I think we're made some fixes.
Very nice job.
Thank you, Lee.
Okay, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we go back to 4F, settlement agreement with Buena Vista Biomass Power regarding secured and unsecured property taxes.
Yes, Supervisors, this is a proposed agreement with Buena Vista Biomass Power and its principle regarding secured and unsecured taxes that are owed since about 2014. This agreement, they will pay the base tax owed, 10% penalty in 4 total payments. And what, yes, sir.
I'd like to recuse myself on this.
Oh, yes.
I have family that has an interest down there, so.
All right.
I knew that.
Well, it worked out that we already approved everything else, so you're done.
Have a good day, every week.
Supervisors, yes, so the purpose, the main purpose is to facilitate new investment and potentially get the business restarted out there. There's no guarantee that that business deal will materialize. If it doesn't, this agreement goes away. But if they make the first payment of the payment plan on those back taxes, the county will release the liens, and that will sort of pave the way for investment. The alternative is to leave the liens in place. Most likely would prevent any investment. The plant would stay closed. And if the plant went into foreclosure or tax sale, the business property would be sold for scrap, and it's unlikely that the county would recover as much, if any.
If any.
Yeah.
Yeah, after talking to other departments, including the assessor, and kind of getting the good background on them, I think that this is our best alternative. I mean, if it opens up, there'll certainly be some better tax yield there. As it's closed, it's kind of nothing. So, I mean, I think this is not ideal, but I think it's the best.
Greg laid it out pretty.
Any public comment? Excuse me.
Not
Any
at
public
this time.
comment?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Back to the board. So looking for a motion?
I'll move. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the settlement as agreed to.
Second.
Okay. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we have one abstain. Okay. And with that, this meeting is adjourned until Tuesday, September 23rd at 9 a.m. Closed session starts at 6:30.
8:30.
Oh, 8:30.